Alright, I just want to show you guys some of the terrain I've been working on lately. My workspace is a little crowded, so bear with me. This is hopefully going to be, I don't know how good it looks, but I guess we'll see after I paint it up. But this is supposed to be like these here were like part of that barricade, and these are the spikes in the front, and got hit by like a missile. So I've got a crater here that Will made with some sand and clay. It looks really good. I've got like a wire going in here, buried in the ground, along with like an overturned light. Around the back, I've got like a battery to power the light with, and just some random little bit. But yeah, and these are all just straws and some pieces of bamboo and that. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think it's gonna look pretty good. We've also got a crater here. This is another one that Will made. It's not done being painted yet, but got like an exploded barrel, just some random stuff in here, some barbed wire added across, kind of just to, yeah, I think it looks decent, and extra dreadnought piece, and I just finished these. I've been working on these. You've probably seen these in some of my videos. I finished pinning them up. I added the grass. I still wish I had grass that didn't have that red stuff in it, but that's alright. That's all I got. So I'll probably buy some from the train store. Yeah, so I got 4 of them, all painted up like that. I think they look pretty good. And then, as you saw, I've got this here, and I'll show you all of our building terrain in a different video, because that's a whole other thing. And I'm going to go ahead and paint this up, and just wanted to show you like a before shot of it, and then I'll kind of do like a sort of in between each step, and I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go just prime this. Okay, so this is what it all looks like primed up. I'm just going to paint the grounds this kind of like dirty, muddy color. This one is called Woodland Brown. There's no point wasting GW paint on big terrain. So I will show you guys that in a second. Okay, so here's that part of it done. And you see I painted some of the dirt like up at the tops of the pieces of bamboo and that, but I added a little bit of black to this color here just so it's a little bit more darker and earthy. Next I'm going to dry brush probably a mix of this same color with something a little bit lighter. Maybe this one's country tan, something like that. Dry brush that, and then maybe dry brush just the country tan color by itself really lightly over the highlights. And then I'll go on to the bamboo after that. Okay, you probably can't tell a big difference, plus it's dark out now, so it's hard to see. But I did just a slightly lighter dry brush than what the color already was. Emphasis on the edges up here. You can see the color in there. It's just the 2 colors I showed you. I'm kind of just gonna skip ahead a step and just do straight up like a tan kind of color. Like this one's called Goose Feather, like maybe kind of like a bleach bone. I just do it very lightly on the edges, and I'll be done with the dirt on this. Okay, this is after that step. Again, it's probably a little bit hard to see, but I've just highlighted some stuff. Kind of picked out the top edges, nothing drastic, because I still want it to be really dark, rich, like jungle earth. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of the bamboo now. I'm going to follow the 3-step process I did in the how to make bamboo terrain. So we're going to be needing desert yellow, camel green, and bleach bone, or I'll try to find some equivalents and stuff like this, because I'm going to be doing this a lot, so I'm going to need to get something a little bit cheaper. And this technique is in How to Make War Games Terrain from GW on page 32, though I am using different colors. So yeah, gonna go ahead and paint the desert yellow. Okay, this is now with desert yellow painted on all the bamboo. I just did I did 1 coat and then just went back and just really quick kind of just brushed over anything that was a little bit see-through still. Obviously I'm going to have to touch up some of the dirt, but we'll get to that at the end. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the lines with bleach bone. Okay, so I have painted on the lines on all this bamboo, which probably is the most time-consuming and tedious part of this. And I'm going to go ahead now and use the camo green, the dry brush. Just kind of paint on between the lines and leave a little bit of extra around it of the desert yellow. Okay, so there's that with the camo green on it. It's a little bit hard to see, so I'll try to get some better lighting when I'm finished here. I'm just going to go ahead and paint the wire now. And it goes throughout this whole thing. Not sure what color to paint it yet. I'm going to paint the light, the battery, and just random bit back here. And it'll be just about done. Okay, so as you can see, I ended up painting this wire here red. I actually used red gore. So I used red gore on that. I just did a few spots of chainmail, just kind of like a few worn through areas, just to add a little bit to it. And I'm going to be just doing a really easy, just light dry brush of blood red, just to add a little bit more detail to the wire. I went ahead and painted up the spotlight buried in here in this like melted, exploded battery in Catachan green. If I have that around, I think I got it in here. I know I've got it around here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, Catachan green. Basically because this is bamboo terrain, it's jungle terrain, Catachan's a good color to go with. And just paint this thing silver. I use chainmail for pretty much any metal that I do. I don't like bolt gun metal, so I'll probably do like a wash over that and some rust. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the blood red on the wire. I'm going to do a really simple, again, really light, just tiny bit of dry brushing to make those lights in that battery pop with some goblin green. And I'll be painting some more worn through spots on the battery with chainmail. And that's pretty much going to be it. Be almost done. Okay, so I ended up going a little bit different route. I wasn't a big fan of the way the goblin green was looking. It was too much of a step, too much of a bright step right off the dark Catachan green. So I redid it. I don't know where I keep misplacing my paints at. Oh, here we go. I just did camo green, the same thing I did for the bamboo. I just thinned it out a little bit and dry brushed it really kind of lightly, so it was just kind of like a thin layer over instead of an actual color change, just to give it a little bit of highlighting, a little bit of edging. The blood red, you probably can't tell from the video, but it does kind of add some variance and a little bit of highlights to it. And then I also did the same thing with the camo green here on this battery. I then, all this melted, tore up part that I did, I painted that black. And same thing with the parts that I kind of ripped up before I put this on, I painted black. This is how I'm doing chipped metal, so I'm going to be, now that I painted it black, I'm going to fill in everything except for the very edges of it, the very edges of the black with chainmail to make it look all melted, ripped, chipped, all that kind of stuff, blown apart. We'll see how that looks. Okay, so I painted the silver on here and on here as well. It's a little bit hard to see. And then I did just a bad black wash over that whole area. Just kind of get in the cracks, make it look more burnt instead of just silver. And basically now, this is the very last step. All we got to do is go back and touch up all the dirt that we painted over on accident, and repaint the dirt like in the tops of the bamboo and all of that. Okay, so this is basically the finished product. It does look a little weird. I'm sure you'll see it in some of my battle reports, so you can see it in some better lighting. It's kind of in the middle of the night. Basically, I'm just going to add some flock around the outside, but I'm going to get some different flock first because the stuff I have now has like red in it for dead leaves and just doesn't work well with bamboo. So there it is. Let me know if you guys got any questions, and look forward to some more bamboo terrain, hopefully. All sorts of different craps and forts and everything else. Okay, I'm going to try this lighting just for a minute. Probably not better lighting, but maybe better color. It's a little bit hard to tell. But yeah. Thanks for watching.